welcome to the Have Knitting Podcast. My name is Christy. It is August the 10th, I think. It's a Wednesday. It's not my usual recording day. Yesterday, I was in bed. I had a migraine. Got a migraine on Monday afternoon. It just came on really suddenly. And so yesterday I was in bed, catching up on podcasts and reading and sleeping and knitting and trying to stay away from noise. But today I'm pretty much into the full swing of things again. My 12-year-old is home from school. So it's a little bit... I love my children. I've got 6 if you're a new viewer. I have 6 kids and I love having all my kids home from school, but it throws out my day every single time. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. But yeah, so she's home from school. So this should be fairly quick because I've got to go pick the other kids up from school very soon. So if you are new, welcome. I'm so glad that you found me and I hope that you enjoy your time with me. And if you are returning, welcome back. It's fantastic. I wish I could say it's fantastic to see you again. But I just will. It's fantastic to see you again. Even though I can't see you, I'm going to imagine that you're there. If you are new, there is, or even if you're old and you didn't know, there is a Have Knitting podcast group in Ravelry. Please come in and say hello. I'd love to get to know you. You can follow me on Instagram as Knit with Jam, KNITWITHJAM. And I'm on Ravelry as Have Knitting, and yeah, I think that's all the places that are important. I am wearing short sleeves. Look at that. We're still in the middle of winter. I live in Australia, in case you can't tell from the accent or you're new and you just had no idea. And it is absolutely sensational outside today. It is so nice. In the sun, it's really nice. And so yeah, I came back in from bringing in some of the groceries and I'm like, I need to take my cardigan off. Short sleeves. Can you tell I'm keen for spring? I can't wait. I can't wait for warmer weather. Okay, I'm not looking forward to bushfire season. I'm not looking forward to the heat, but I'm looking forward to wearing t-shirts again. Okay, all right, no, scratch all of that. I'm just looking forward to not being cold. I don't cope well with cold. All right, so today I have very little to show you because 2 of my projects are sitting in the car. Long story. One of them's my on-the-go knitting project, current sock that I'm knitting on the go, and I just thought that I would leave it in the car rather than bringing it inside because I forgot I was going to record. And like I said, I've got to go pick the kids up shortly and I may be able to get in half row while I'm waiting for them. And then the other one is my cross stitch, which I've just been really lazy about bringing inside from last week. My craft group's been cancelled tomorrow, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm tempted to take the 2 little ones out. It depends on the teenager. If my oldest is still unwell tomorrow, we'll probably just stay at home, but I would really like to take the 2 little ones to the park or something tomorrow. Enjoy the sunshine while it lasts. But I don't know. I can't really knit at the park with a 1-year-old running around. It's kind of, it wouldn't work. I'm just drinking my normal black tea in my favourite mug. I love this mug. I love chevrons. Oh, chevrons. So today I have progress on my Avana shrug to show you, which I'm really excited about. I have a pair of socks that I've finished. Yay! And I have some yarn that I want to talk to you about, which you've seen before, but I'm going to talk to you about it anyway. So I told you, not much. All right, so let's start with my socks because I have been wearing these on my feet today because I needed to take photos of them. The Miss Click Clack Block Socker to Me knit along ends today, and I finished these last night. I'm so proud of myself for finishing them. and finishing them in time. So I wore them today. They haven't been washed or anything yet. I don't care. They're just vanilla socks and they fit so well. So yeah, I wasn't planning on wearing them, but then I thought I've got to take photos of them on my, well, I don't have to take photos of them on my feet, but I want to take photos of them on my feet. I'll just wear them. So this is, I'll show you the best side. So the purple I think is called Valerian. The speckle is called Garden Party, and the blue I think is called Bluebird. The blue and the purple are one of a kinds. I did ask the lovely Kelly, who is also known as Miss Click Clack, to custom dye them for me. I'm really happy. I love them. Really, really, really love them. I'm really happy with how well they turned out, and I've got heaps of yarn left over. So I'm super keen for next year's Block Socket to Me. If you have not heard of Miss Click Clack, if you have not participated in the Block Socket to Me and you love knitting socks, then check her store out. She's an Australian dyer based in Melbourne, and she's amazing. And I'm super excited for next year's Block Socket to Me knit along. Seriously excited. So much so that I'm going to use my scraps, as well as I'm just going to keep an eye on her shop and see what I can find so that I can use the bits left over, because I've got quite a bit of yarn left over. I should have brought it in, but I still have quite a bit of yarn left over, so I'm really keen to see what I can do next year, even if it's just heels, cuffs, toes and heels or whatever. But yeah, so I used the vanilla is the new black heel. If you watched last week's episode, I had half the needles. Actually, I had quite a few stitches off the needles, because I had decided to knit off the reservation and I wasn't following the pattern. And so when I got down the foot, it just didn't make sense, and my stitch count was out and everything. So it pays to read the pattern, really. It does. So anyway, so it's all finished. They're both finished. I think on one of them I ended up with an extra stitch, 2 extra stitches. My stitch count was out on one of the socks by 1 or 2 stitches. I don't know how that happened. I really don't care. I did think about ripping it back again. I just want them finished. But this is them. And I am super happy with them, And I really, 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 really love the way this heel fits. I think these are probably the most comfy socks that I have. My short row heel that I really love, my foot moves just a little bit inside the sock. Not much, but just a little bit. Not at all with these. These are definitely my favourite. So for those of you that have been watching for a little while, I have been knitting a pair of socks for the stripy socks knit along, which I'll speak about a bit more in a minute, in Knit Picks for Leechy, in the balloon ride. They're the socks that are sitting in my car currently. I've decided to use this heel for them as well, and after wearing these today, I'm really, really happy. Really happy with that decision. So in terms of knit alongs, these socks are part of the Yay for May knit along, which ends at the end of this month. There is a prize, which is a really lovely shawl pin, and I don't have that with me again. I'll have to write a note to remember to bring it in, but it's a shawl pin, and I still haven't posted a photo in Facebook, in Ravelry. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I have so much going on inside my head, and that's not an excuse. It's just the plain to goodness truth. So it's a really lovely shawl pin that one of my lovely viewers has made, and I will endeavour to put a photo of that up in the next day or so. In fact, I will write it down as soon as I leave the bedroom. I wish I had. My daughter's got... I hope this doesn't move the iPad. Sorry, I found a pencil. It's a watercolour pencil. But I don't particularly... I'm in my kid's bedroom. You'd think that there would be paper. There is paper on the other side. Oh, there's scrap paper. Look, because my daughter, my 4-year-old, is into drawing all the things at the moment and tearing up paper. So, with my pencil and with my scrap piece of paper, I'm going to write down shawl. Oh, hang on, I can't spell. Shawl pin photo. Look, I feel like, you know, I'm in one of those, I've been watching too much burnos. I feel like I'm a hostage victim or something, and I'm having to write little notes and put them on video cameras. I love burn notice. I love burn notice. The downside of that show, as much as I absolutely love it, the downside of that show is that there is no knitting inspiration at all. I was talking to my husband about it the other night and said, oh, we were talking about colours. You know, like Samax would be really loud, bright, tropical kind of colours if you were dyeing yarn. And Michael Weston would be like beige and navy blue and grey, because, you know, like he tends to wear those suits. And I have no idea about Fee, because she wears a lot of white, maybe white and like a bronze or something, because she's really, really tan. Or like gun, I think, oh, that's right. My husband said, we were talking about Fiona Glenanne, because we went, oh, like, what colour do you do for her? We said gunmetal grey and the blue of her car, because it's this really cool blue. And I think Vaughn, one of the bad guys, not really bad guy, but you know, like if you've seen Burn Notice, you know who I'm talking about. And he would be like mustard yellow, and I think it was mustard yellow, lime green, and chocolate brown, because he's an African American. So yeah, so it was just no knitting inspiration, but yarn colour inspirations. Watch this space. So shawl pin photo, written it down. All right, so that's that. So the Yay for May knit along finishes at the end of this month, and there is a prize. There are a few people that have entered, so please enter. It's a really nice shawl pin. I've got one. Tonya was nice enough to send me 3, so I've got one. I gave one to my friend Emma, and I'm giving one away, which is awesome. And you can't get these shawl pins anywhere, because Tonya was selling them at her local yarn store, and then they closed down. So if you've been knitting socks, post them in the group. So, because this is limited edition, people, limited edition price. So that's my socks done. I'm pretty stoked, pretty happy about that. All right, the Yay for May knit along. Sorry, not Yay. The stripy socks knit along that I'm hosting with Moira from Knitting in Stitches. If you haven't checked out her podcast, you got to do it. It's awesome. That is happening until the end of September. And I did say that I was going to make a project bag. I was going to sew one up. But I have found a young Aussie girl who does like little charms, like the Sucra miniatures. And she's just, and when I say she's young, I mean like she's like 15, 16 years old. She's really young. And she's just closed. I was talking with her yesterday, asking her some questions about what she had in stock. And then I was going to purchase, but then she closed her shop on Wednesday night because she's got exams coming up or studies or something. She had to close. So I can't show you anything for a couple of weeks because I've got to wait for her to reopen and everything. And, you know, and I'm so excited because if you've been watching for long enough, you know that I'm really keen to support local, and super keen to support young artists as well. Like, her stuff is amazing. Her stuff is absolutely and utterly amazing. I'm so super excited. So once I've got some of those things to show you, I will show you what I'm going to give away. So there will be a project keeper and progress keeper thing, which is awesome, and something else. But I will talk more about that once I've got them. So get knitting stripy socks because I'm like super excited to show you. I'm super excited to give things away. I want to drink some more tea. And in terms of other knit alongs, at the beginning of September, end of September, I think I wrote it down in the group on Ravelry, the Have Knitting podcast group in Ravelry. We will be starting a lace knit along at either the beginning of September or the end of September. I can't quite remember yet. which one that is. But yeah, lace anything. Lace socks, lace shawl, lace cardigan, whatever. I just like lace. I want to knit on lace. And you can have, it can be really seriously, you know, like those really complicated lace shawls, which I will not be knitting. Or it can be just something really simple. So anything that is lacy. So my Avana shrug, it was a huge big rectangle, and this is more knitting off the reservation, and I will explain why in a minute. Woo, look at that. Now it looks like a weird handbag. So you know how I kept saying that it was just a rectangle that kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger? I sat down with it over the weekend to measure it, or maybe it was Sunday night, which is still on the weekend, to measure it and to read the pattern, and I had knitted about 3 inches too much. So I ripped it all back, and that took a while because this yarn is a bit sticky and likes to stick to itself and knot and all sorts of things. So that was fun. So yes, so I've done that, and now, and then I joined it in the round, which is really, really awesome. Somehow I have managed to lose 2 stitches. I do not know how. I really don't know how that has happened. I've pored over this and I cannot find any lost stitches anywhere. So I've got no idea what I did then. What I did there, because it's really weird, because I had 2 less stitches on the side where I, like the bit where I was knitting, because the rest of the bottom edge was like they were like it was a provisional cast on. Does that make sense? And so on the provisional cast on side I had the correct number of stitches, but on the side that I was working on I was missing 2 stitches. I'm not quite sure how that happened. I really have no idea how that has happened. But I'm not starting it again, just to make sure, you know. It could have been the way that I picked up the stitches off the provisional cast on. It could have been that I accidentally decreased at some point. I don't know how. I'm really, really hoping that there are no sort of wandering stitches. I mean, if there are, I'll just do the Susan B. Anderson trick and weave them in. But I don't know what I've done. But regardless, see, I'm still looking for the missing stitches. But regardless, that's where it's at. So, I knit for a few inches. Okay. I don't think I've even done an inch here. But I knit for a few inches and then I start on the lace. My 12-year-old has come to spy on me. Hello. That's what she's given me. Yes.
Can I play on the computer once I'm done?
No. No, you're homesick from school. Off you go.
Yeah, but Amelia got to play on the computer when she was homesick from school.
I'm in the middle of recording. Go away. 12-year-old girls, hey? So yeah, so that's where I'm at. And I'm, I've got over 400 stitches on the needle on the needle, because it's just one big long circular. I'm knitting it on 4.5, I think it's 4.5. No, 5mm knit posings. I love these needles. The yarn is Debbie Bliss Fine Donegal Tweed in Midnight. And as you can see, it's got a little bit of texture and colour and whatever else you want to call it. And I really do love this yarn. So I'm really enjoying this project. I did message the designer because I was a bit tired and a little bit fraught when I discovered that I had knit several extra inches. And I got confused with the pattern. I emailed her a question, which is ridiculous because it was kind of explained in the pattern if I just sort of slowed down and paid attention. But that's okay. That's certainly okay. These things happen. It's always better to be safe than to be sorry. But I do have a question about the lace section because the pattern's written for a DK. I'm using a fingering weight, so all I need to really know now is the length of the, what's it called? Like the lace section, lace edge, how wide that is, and then I can figure out how many repeats to do, because if I do what's said in the pattern, it's not going to be as wide. You know, like it's not going to be the correct length. So I don't know. If I don't hear from her, I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll just keep, my friend Emma has made one. She was the one that she was the one who introduced me to the pattern to begin with. So I'll either ask her if she can measure her, like the lace section on hers, or I'll just knit until, you know, as always, I'll just knit until either I run out of yarn or I go, yeah, that looks good. And this is living in my knitter's friend bag, and it was made by my friend Emma, who introduced me to the pattern and the designer. So, and the design is by Annie Claire on Ravelry. By Annie Claire. The by is in there too, I think. So yes, I'm really enjoying that. Really, really, really enjoying that. Looking forward to getting it done. So that's it. That's it for me. Next week I hope to have, oh, that's right. Next week I'll try and remember to bring in my cross stitch and my other sock. But I was going to talk about some yarn, and I'll do that briefly. I was thinking of using this. This is from my big knit picks haul. Of using the 3 and knitting a pair of Emily's favourite socks. So I'm really keen to know what your thoughts are. They look like, what does it look like? Vanilla chocolate chip ice cream. So yeah, so I'm thinking that's where I'm going to go next. I almost cast them on last night and then resisted the temptation. So I think that this will shortly be a pair of Emily's favourite socks. I don't know. I'm not in two minds about the yarn and the pattern. I am in two minds as to whether I should cast on another pair of socks or whether I should just concentrate on getting some of my other things finished, because I've still got my rule scarf to work on. So I don't know. How proud am I? I'm so proud of myself. How proud. I'm so proud of myself. I'm getting stuff done. I'm getting stuff done. And I even bought more yarn last night with the permission of my husband because I finished off socks. Actually, I finished off 2 pairs of socks in the last couple of months. So, yay me. So, I'm going to go. 25 minutes. I don't know. I could try and be cool, but, you know, I'm far from it. So I'm going to go. I've got to go pick up my kids from school. I better supervise my 12-year-old and make sure she's not doing anything terrible. So, she's pretty trustworthy. All right, I will see you again next week. I hope you're keeping well, and until then, happy knitting. Bye.